A game of basketball bringing people together. A few weeks ago, I stopped by Jerstad-Agerholm in Racine to meet with these four people you can see on the screen here. A teacher, a coordinator, and community connector. We talked about a National Crime Victims' Rights Week event called Bigger Than Basketball, organized by Nakeyda Haymer, her photo right here. She's a coordinator whose goal is to stop the violence. But while I was there, the school's community connector, Johnny Ford, caught my attention with his vibrant personality and conversations with the students, and I had to know his story, and what I learned really touched me.
Who in their right mind would go and shoot up a funeral at broad daylight?
And it was like, everybody was screaming and yelling. I'm still standing up. I'm getting ready to read the committal to put the young man in the ground. And then I heard somebody scream out, "They shot me." And then there was some other guns coming down. And so I hit the ground. Somebody came over the fence. I just saw from the shoes to their waist. And they were coming toward the coffin and they were still shooting. And I'm like, my God, is it gonna end like this?
Pastor Johnny Ford lived to tell his story. Just minutes after a shooting during a 2022 funeral in Racine, Johnny stood up off the ground and continued what he said God called him to do.
One of the young ladies asked, she said, "Well, Pastor Johnny," she said, "can we still bury my cousin?" And so I put my hand on the coffin, and it was 3 bullets that had hit the top of the coffin that if I wouldn't hit the ground, they'd just hit me in the gut. I might not be here today.
Morning.
Each day is a day Johnny can live out his purpose.
I just want to help every kid I can.
A pastor and community connector for Jerstad-Agerholm in Racine, Johnny is in his 2nd year here, but was a hall monitor at 2 other Racine schools for over 20 years.
Every day I come to my job, I say I'm going to change the narrative in a kid's life. One kid, it might not be the same kid as yesterday. Some kids come see me every day, they're not getting it, And I get frustrated sometimes with the kids, and God reminds me, you were one of the most hard-headed kids ever. Continue to work with that kid.
Let's take you back decades to 11-year-old Johnny.
We was riding to church one day, I'll never forget my mother. I was like, I want to be like my dad when I grow up. She put her, she said, "What you mean by that?" And I said, "He ain't got to go to church. I don't want to go to church." And she said, "Get out the car."
After witnessing divorce and deaths, his faith grew stronger. He finally understood his mom, allowing him to use things she planted in him to help in the growth of others.
Come give me a call. All right, man, be smooth. Came from the streets and did a lot of stuff in the streets, and a lot of people threw me to the side, but my mother always said, "You're gonna be something." And she never stopped saying I was gonna be something. I didn't know what it was gonna be, but she always instilled that in me. And so if 99 people are telling a kid they can't be nothing, and one person does, that one person will be enough to motivate that kid to believe in themselves.
The kids.
Why you come around that corner looking all sneaky? What up with you?
Oh my God, I feel so famous. I feel like a star.
Is that how we used to act?
Feel comfortable with him.
Today, we're here at Jerstad-Agerholm, and we're going to show y'all how the kids act good.
Oh, keep on track.
And maybe it's because they see themselves in him.
Man, you swear you fly, man. What's all these selfies?
And vice versa.
Some kids can be really bad, but the worst kids never miss school. They come to school looking for that validation and affirmation from us being adults. And if it's somebody to just say, "Hey man, how you doing?"
How you doing?
What do you think the kids would say about you? Like, how would they describe you, do you think?
Oh, they love my swag. They always talk about my swag.
What you rocking today?
And I told them that came from trauma. That came from, they don't know what hand-me-downs are.
Turning trauma to triumph and teaching. Johnny is what kids need. Someone who's walked in the same shoes. Someone who truly understands. And someone who truly cares.
I'm gonna have them come back and we'll get you on the next one. Kids that don't know how to stay in class.
And this is why I love to say everyone has a story, and I'm glad Johnny allowed me to tell his. And remember, our conversation stemmed from a conversation about the Bigger Than Basketball event that he will be participating in. That event is tomorrow, and coming up tomorrow morning around 6:30, I'll talk about the meaning behind the game and how this year is different.